guess, leading into Syria now, how well prepared are you feeling? And I mean, we're anticipating they're going to sit deep and make things difficult for you guys again. How do you counter that?
Yeah, hi, how you going? No, look, we're ready. It was just about recovery from the India game, and we're in training again today to get ready for Syria and just implement the same things. India game was similar, where they sat back and sort of, made it hard for us, but we ultimately opened them up and had a lot of patience to sort of, get through the hard patch of the game and come out with the win. So we're going to hopefully do the same in the next game.
And just to follow up, I suppose, how much onus has Arnie put on you personally? We saw in that second half against India, it looked like you were stringing your passes together, pinging them a bit better than that first half. On yourself to, sort of break down that defence, and also what can Riley McGree offer if he's thrown into that midfield mix with you?
Yeah, it's an important position, the number 6 role. Both midfielders, I think, to help control the game, be the engine players to sort of get about the pitch as well. So, hopefully can do that again against Syria. But yeah, I think second half, the game opened up just that little bit more for us to be able to play. The first half, the gaps were a bit tighter and a bit smaller, so it was harder to, maybe thread passes, and the long ones they were quite fresh to sort of get out to players. So yeah, of course the game's going to open up second half, as we know, and it's easier to make your passes stick, etc. But I think we got in some good gaps in the first half as well, but we just didn't execute as well as we could have and as well as we will in the games moving forward.
Luke, I'll pass over to you.
Hey Keanu, hope you're well, mate. You look like you're playing more of a solo 6 rather than, when you take on Argentina or Mexico or England, you might have someone a little bit deeper with you. How was that experience and just looking up and having sort of a little bit more options in space?
Yeah, you're right. As we said, the teams probably sit back a little bit more in these competitions, in the early stages. So it's better to have players going forward and create overloads in higher situations in the pitch. So yeah, definitely it's something I can do. I can build up with the centre backs, and we can get the ball forward as quickly as possible, and get it to our creative players to create stuff and hopefully score goals.
Just with Syria, I mean, has Arnie, I know you've had a recovery day and maybe one training session, has Arnie turned his attention tactically to Syria yet? And if so, what have you found?
Yeah, of course. We quickly review the India game after it's done, and then move on to the next game. And we're getting ready for that game. We know it'll be quite similar, so we'll see how we set up in training, and don't want to give too much away. But yeah, we'll just make sure that we're ready for that game as much as possible.
Vince?
Hey Keanu. Wondering if you have any memories of watching our recent games against Syria, in particular the 2018 World Cup qualifiers, some pretty hairy moments there in Sydney. You would have been at the Wanderers. Did you get along?
Yeah, I'm sure I was at that game, if I can remember correctly. Couldn't tell you the score though, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure I was there at the game. Was it at ANZ?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you remember? Because that, the past couple of times they've played against the Socceroos, they've proven quite a handful, particularly the last Asian Cup.
Yeah. No, I remember it was quite a tough game. There's some physical presences in the team they played against, especially in the back line, if I can remember correctly. I mean, I was obviously a bit smaller as well, so they look like giants from the crowd. But yeah, it was tough, and I think I can't remember the score exactly, but they also wanted to qualify as much as we did, as much as all the other countries in Asia did that day. So yeah, I can remember it being a tough game.
And also for me, just you're slotting into the shoes at the moment in this midfield of one of the all-time greats of the Socceroos recently in Aaron Moy. What's it like, sort of knowing that you've been entrusted to sort of fulfil such an important role in the team, and especially following on from someone like him with the magic he was able to produce? Yeah,
thank you very much. Now, look, as is different class, to be honest. I only probably fully realised once I started playing with him and came into camps and playing in the other team at training against him. You realised how much class he had. So trying to be myself and implement my own style. But yeah, in terms of his legacy, his will live on forever for Socceroos for sure. I think he was a great player and great to learn off for the last few games that he played, and I was at the World Cup with him, so definitely try to learn a lot, and as I said, trying to move forward into my own my own style and make that position something I can do my way.
Marco? Marco, just on mute, mate. You there?
Yeah, sorry, boys. And girls. Keanu, how you going, mate? I guess against India, like obviously the first half wasn't great, second half was a lot better in terms of trying to break them down. Syria probably a step up from that. What's been the focus at like training? I guess apart from set pieces needing to be better.
Yeah, in my opinion, it didn't. It still felt good first half as a team. I think we probably just lacked a goal in the end. To sort of cap off some good plays that we did have. Of course, as I said, the second half opened up a little bit for us to play. But moving forward, we just want to move the ball a little bit quicker and sort of get into positions where we can create chances a little bit quicker and better, as we know. And yeah, that's it really.
I made in that game in the trial against Bahrain when Aiden played instead of you. What were you thinking then? Were you always confident of getting the starts the other day?
Oh no, look, our squad's very good. 26 players that can all play and all make an impact in this team. So, in national team football, nothing's guaranteed. So, I wasn't, I didn't think too much of it. I just, trained hard and wanted to, do my best, and that's all I can really do to be up for selection.
Anna, we'll come back to you. If anyone has any further follow-ups, just use the raise hand function.
Perfect. Obviously, Keanu, a win against Syria, and that's round of 16 done and dusted. Has Arnie talked to you about that? Like just the prospect of getting it done, dusted with a game to spare, and making your path that little bit easier.
Yeah, look, no, we came in, off the back of some big games, preparing for this Asian Cup, and we just take it game by game and want to do our absolute best and, take 3 points as we go. So, yeah, we're hoping to go out there and put out the best performance we can and win that game, and, we'll see what happens on that day and after that as we go. So don't want to get too ahead of ourselves in the tournament, but as I said, we'll take it game by game.
Further one from you, Anna?
No, that was it. I'll pass on to the other guys.
Luke?
Yeah, it's in terms of a tournament coach. I mean, how different is Arnie at the Asian Cup where you guys have to play like front runners, for example, as opposed to the World Cup where the messaging might be a little bit different, the way you set up might be a little bit different in terms of how you approach the game?
Yeah, no, I don't think there's too much difference. It's still tournament football here, and we don't get ahead of ourselves and think about further stages. We'll just take each game in the group stage as it comes and do our absolute best, and that's all we can really do. I think we can handle whatever comes our way well, and yeah, it's obviously going to be tough. It's not easy to win any tournament of football, any game of football. If people think it's easy, then it's tough out on that pitch. But yeah, we'll do our absolute best and control what we can control, and hopefully, I believe we can go all the way.
Another one for you, Luke.
How much are you taking in? Oh, sorry, that's just one more.
Yeah, of course.
How much are you taking in of what's going on around you? We've had South Korea play now, Japan, all your other, big four in Asia play now. How much are you watching? How much are you seeing what they're doing and taking in and, gauging their performances and where they're at?
Yeah, we've got it on in the meal rooms, in our rooms when we're playing cards in the social room. We've got it on all the games. So, yeah, we're keeping an eye, but we're also, just worrying about ourselves, and that's the most important thing. but yeah, we realised, you know, that the competition's quite tough, and every game's a tough game. You know those teams conceding against other teams in their group. So yeah, every game's tough, and we realised that in this tournament. And yeah, the most important thing is we focus on ourselves.
Vince?
I think just finally,
Sorry, Luke. Sorry.
Marty, when he spoke to us, mentioned the. Sorry, mate.
No, finish this last one, mate. Apologies. And then we'll move to Vin.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Martin, when he spoke to us, said one of the things you guys are doing to kill the time was a bit of gaming in the rooms. You've all got a room to yourselves. Are you involved in that, mate? How intense is it getting? And take us inside that.
Yeah. You know, we're all in a room ourselves, and we've got a social room for all the boys to sort of link up and yeah, have a bit of fun, a bit of downtime. And we're doing exactly that, you know, when we have the time and in the right spaces. So yeah, it's quite competitive. I think in this environment, no one wants to lose. So whatever game we do pull out, yeah, everyone wants to win, and yeah, it's quite fun. It's interesting.
Off to you, Vince.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, Keanu, just wondering if you can, I know we're the ones who are supposed to put things into words, but I'm wondering if you can put into words what it's like to play against a team that sits back the way that India did, like when you got basically 10 or 11 men in the box in front of you and you're trying to break it down. I can't imagine there'd be too many more sort of annoying situations as a footballer to confront, but you just want to play and they're trying like to stop you. Like it must be, yeah, frustrating.
Yeah, look, you know, they obviously want to do the best they can, so, you know, credit to them for how they played and how much they held off, you know, and held us from scoring early, especially, and sort of getting a lead and sort of building on that. But, you know, yeah, so I think, yeah, it's tough, but I've been on both sides. You know, I've gone to Scotland and played the likes of Celtic and Rangers, so, you know, it's tough. As a footballer, you don't want to, you know, expose yourself and sort of create big spaces for these oppositions to do well in, because, you know, they're obviously quality players that you're playing against. So I've been on both sides of the, you know, as a footballer. But, yeah, mainly for us, we just got to have patience. And as I said, I think there was some good phases in the first half. We ultimately just didn't, you know, take our chances. And, you know, I had a good, you know, one or two shots where I was a bit upset at myself because I probably should put them on target at least. And, yeah, and I expect to score in those, at least one of those situations. But yeah, I think there was some other phases of play where we just didn't capitalise on some decent plays from everyone.
That's what I was going to ask you next, actually, your experience in Scotland. I'd imagine 1 week you're potentially parking the bus, and the next week you're potentially trying to get around it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, we have a league where you play a giant, and then a league team where you play similar to us. So yeah, it's tough. Yeah, as I said, you don't want to give too much space and, you know, expose yourself as a team against the bigger teams, because they can ultimately punish you with the players they have and, you know, the quality they have. So yeah, it's quite a tough league over there. It's quite physical, but, you know, it really turned me and helped me, you know, form me into the player that I am now today.
Anna, we'll come to you for one more.
Yeah, no worries. Keanu, personally, what are you hoping this tournament can do for you? You were very impressive at the World Cup. You've also been doing well in Scotland. We know that these tournaments could be a springboard for another move or something new, or put yourself on the map. What are you hoping it can do for you?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to think about the future as such too much, but just want to enjoy the moment, because if you get away from that, sometimes, you know, some added pressures that is not great for you as a footballer. But I just want to take each game as it comes and do my absolute best, you know, for my family, for my country, and you know, express what I can do as a player and everything that I've sort of learnt and loved since a young boy. I just want to, you know, go out there and do my absolute best. Yeah, I guess in terms of the future a little bit, if I want to talk about it, I'm coming in my last 6 months of my contract, so, you know, it'd be great to see what's out there for me and what my next step is. But as I said, I'll take it game by game here, and then, you know, going back to club and do my best.